Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Jim Walmsley after his course record-setting win at the 2019 Western States 100. What a day, Jim.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. One of those special days for sure.
Was it even more perfect than last year, or was it the conditions?
Both. I think both kind of played a factor in a little bit, and you got to stay on top of splits. You got to take care of stuff. My legs felt sore all day, but really good all day. I felt like I was just running good, and I missed some splits, but I think having that cloud coverage in the canyons was where I was able to make time back up after a little bit of a slower high country.
Yeah, and hearing you talk to Casey Lichtai a little while ago, it seemed like what you were most excited about, like not just the cool temps, but there were clouds in the canyons.
Yeah, it wasn't sun. You didn't have just this blaring heat on you at the bottom, like El Dorado Creek. You almost could have skipped dipping in the. I didn't. Like, it's one of those things of it's still Western States.
Yeah.
Do the smart things. Otherwise, you'll find out too late if you do skip those things.
I remember somebody saying, like, I posted a picture of you coming up the climb out to Michigan Bluff, and you're like, so he needs a shirt change. I'm like, no, he's being smart and keeping himself wet. And that's what you were doing.
Yeah. I was doing pretty drenched, and even when I do shirt changes the last 2 years, and we have a ice bucket and basically just pull out this soaking shirt every year, and I love those.
Yeah. Is that what other sort of things have you progressed with in terms of your race plan?
Yeah, well, I'm still not quick enough through aid stations, and Jared was definitely chewing time at every single aid station, but I think I was pretty efficient and quick through the non-crew aid stations, so he wasn't really like chewing as much time on those. Just worrying less about the smaller details and more getting the mind right with showing up tough and ready, and it's going to get terrible. So I think mindset-wise is probably what's matured the
Now,
most.
were you in your own headspace thinking about your own race, or were you all thinking and worrying a little bit about Jared 8 to 10 minutes back for ever?
Yeah, basically all I heard was he's 8 minutes back all day, but I kind of also knew that something could have happened because I remember 2016, I was getting Forest Hill splits. Like, everybody learns what the splits are at Forest Hill. It gets trickled down the line through the next 30 miles. And so also knowing that something could happen, but finally getting to Pointed Rocks and kind of hearing that he still hadn't like cracked or wavered at all. It's just like, if this turns into some sort of mile race, I'm gonna just be terrible. So, but I put some really good splits, and that was one of the focus areas for my race plan before the race, was to focus from Green Gate to Pointed Rocks, and I thought I ran good splits through there, and I think that was some of the deciding minutes that I was able to put on Jared.
And do you think that played a big part in running such a fast time, is having Jared running so well and so close the whole way?
Definitely from the river on.
Yeah.
I think there's an easy way to relax if there wasn't that pressure from Green Gate on. But and even Pointed Rocks, there's still pressure. So it's really rewarding knowing that I felt like I gave it my all in 100 miles, and there wasn't a let up, and he did keep me honest.
Was it at all slower up in the snowy sections, or?
I think so. I think I was 8 minutes back on last year's split through Lion Ridge.
Yeah, which is significant.
A lot. And I thought Lion Ridge and Red Star generally are two splits that should be a little bit of free time. And like this year we ran up almost all of escarpment, and I thought we ran a really good effort with it, but we were slow. So it was a little bit of like, well, maybe it is going to be a slower year and legs maybe aren't there. But once we got to some drier stuff, and I get really excited for the canyons. I just like the descending and the climbing, and just feel like I can put some punish into people's legs there. So I try to embrace that part of the course.
And I mean, when did you see you were sort of dipping under that course record pace? Like,
from Duncan to Robinson.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to catch Jared with a couple minutes because I knew he was in second at Duncan, and then I was like, I think I can surprise him with a couple minutes. So it turned like 2-3 minutes, all of a sudden that 8 minutes,
Yeah,
and then that's what kind of stuck all the way to Green Gate. And then it didn't start expanding. I think Point Rocks, I heard, was maybe 14, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, that was a crucial little squeeze there, I think.
And there was a section after that where Jared did make up some of that 14 minutes down to that 8 to 10 minute range.
Yeah.
Did you do a rough patch, or did he just kind of kick it in for one of those surprise sections?
I think Cal Street was actually a little bit of a little rough patch for me, especially through Forest Hill. I was feeling really good, and then I had my splits for the Cal Streets, and a couple of them was just like, I'm not hitting the splits. It seems like these splits should be more downhill on this section, and I keep feeling the ups. So that was a little frustrating, just like knowing to kind of just keep hanging in there. But I think almost like a more moderate Cal Streets gave me a little more strength from Green Gate to Point Rocks.
But sort of giving up that a little bit of time, it never felt like, oh no, we're not looking to blow up.
I was moving well.
Really,
and I kept saying too, of like, I'm running really well. I feel like I'm running my best race. And at the end of the day, if someone has a better race than you, there's not much you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for Jared, that's probably the situation that way. But fortunately for me, my best day was a little better than his best day yesterday, and I was able to hold him off. But yeah, it was pretty epic.
Jared said he was getting a little sick of that situation.
Yeah, there wasn't much wiggle, and yeah, it just goes. We're both pretty hard-headed.
So you'll probably give him some shit at home the next week?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I remember that time at Western States. You couldn't get that minute back, and you finally gave up. But
I assume you guys will celebrate together as well.
Yeah, this is probably the most rewarding Western States, because that guy pushing me and clipping my heels is also one of my best friends I train with all the time in Flagstaff. And for us, we couldn't have asked for a better day. And then Stephen Kirsch really crushed his 100-mile debut. And Eric was in there through 85 and hanging on to 9th all day, from what I understand, and being tough. Haven't caught up with him yet, but interested to see what happened with his day, and a little unfortunate there.
Yeah.
It happens.
I've seen you finish a lot of races, and I've never seen you as excited as yesterday evening.
Yeah, it feels special to pull off 2 here.
Yeah.
I think 2 at Western States is a huge benchmark.
And back-to-back.
Not lucky, back-to-back, 2 extremely different years. So
after last year, you said, I'm going to take some time off for Western States, and then you found yourself back here. What do you think about next year?
Things kind of transpiring with some road ultras with Hoka just a little while ago. So that started to change things back to, well, it actually looks like Western States might work out best. So that's how I found it. Same plan. And people ask me, like, oh, you're targeting the downhill year at Comrades. It's like, not really. It's just the year that's open for me. I could care less if it's uphill, downhill.
So to spell that out, you're thinking no Western States and go to Comrades.
Yeah, that was the plan for this year. But it's also the plan for next year. And I knew even like last year, I wanted to give Comrades an uphill and a downhill year. But if I can get lucky, maybe it'll be a one and done in Comrades. It's pretty far travel, but it's a pretty special race that's worth it.
And you broke Bruce Fordyce's 50-mile world best, and I think in his reply to that was like, now get your butt over to get some real competition at Comrades.
Yeah, he's been real encouraging for me.
In a good way.
Come out and try Comrades and really test my hand there. In a lot of ways, Western States is the best of the best in one world of running. UTMB is the best of the best in one world of running. And Comrades is another best of the best in a different world of running. And then there's all sorts of other worlds of running that it's hard to overlap the couple. And if you can pull off a couple of them, it really writes your own little niche in the sport, I think. So that would be really special. I think, it would be extremely hard, but one of those like new challenges, I think that would reinvigorate training hard, getting ready, and that would be a huge fire to light. So
you're not done with Western States for good.
Not for good. No way. I'd love. I mean, already I'll be back next year in some sort, whether it's crewing, pacing, spectating.
Maybe James Bonet can get in. You can. Did he pace you this year? A little bit.
Yeah, so we were actually talking about it at Forest Hill. He's like, oh, let me know if you want me to pick you up somewhere. And I'm like, well, pick up a bib. And then I let him hop in with me at Point Rocks, and that was pretty special to finally a little bit of revenge on 2016 to bring it home and through the finish. So that was rewarding for both of us.
Do you have anything on your calendar in the next couple months?
Yeah, I made the mistake of signing up for a race in 6 weeks and 7 weeks from now. So I'm doing Sierras now and Ultravassen, and questioning all of it because it's just my legs don't feel great right now. And what's nice about pulling such a great race at Western States like this, it takes a little bit of pressure off, and I'm gonna enjoy the training for Sierras now and Ultravassen, and there's not enough time to rest, train, taper again. So
you just roll with it.
Yeah, and really it's getting some experience at Sierras now because I think Jonathan Wyatt's course record there, and if Killian keeps showing up every single year, and then just the field of runners that assemble there, that one's so competitive and a little bit of a different niche as well that it'll probably take a couple shots.
Nice. So you sort of get to write your own book a little bit in terms of like shoes and socks and that sort of stuff. You've got some like good partners there.
Yeah.
What were you wearing on your feet this weekend?
So I was wearing a future prototype of the Speed Goats that will eventually be coming out. I think Jared wore the same ones. And then I was wearing some Dry Max. It's not max protection.
Is it the extra protection?
Extra protection. The
hyper thin?
Hyper thin.
So it's what you wore last year.
Yeah, same sock.
But now they're
it's generally my race sock.
But now they're like publicly available, right?
You can get those for the Speed Goats. I mean, I do like all my training in the regular Speed Goats, and I kind of save these ones as like a lightweight. They drain water super well.
I'm trying to picture this, so maybe a little strip down
pictures
a strip down upper on a Speed Goat.
It looks a lot like the Mafati.
So it's an Evo
2,
yeah,
the one that I think that just came out, which was my backup shoe today. But I stuck in the same pair of shoes all day, and it was feeling good. So
nice
it's the Speed Goat having so much rubber on the bottom is, especially in the high country, it was like a really predictable grip. The Mafati is really cushioned and great for like a really long day and grippy, but not quite as predictable on the grip as the Speed Goat. But
the Speed Goat's just super luggy.
Yeah, Speed Goat's definitely like a bomber shoe for me.
No, it's interesting because like you're such a fast build and like stride and all this, but you're not striving to wear some 6-ounce flat. You're wearing a comfy shoe.
I mean, maybe it's because I bounce so much when I run, and every time I hit, the extra cushion's good, and especially late. I think if I was wearing a thinner shoe, I think my legs would be getting that shock a lot more. So, Speed Goats. Last year, the Mafati got it done, and this year the Speed Goat got it done. So it's pretty cool to do it, and really classic Hoka shoes.
Nice, and you got it done once again.
Yeah, it was pretty special.
I mean, obviously you got the 2 wins here. You ran 2 course records here. You kind of said it before the race. Now 14 hours is there.
I mean, I think especially this year with Jared running 14:26 and then me getting down to 14:09, you're going to have other people dreaming about that under 14 hours. I still, especially after last year, I think I'll stick to, I think it takes a cool year.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like those 8 minutes on Lion Ridge, kind of the early high country could have been the difference this year.
Overall, like in balance, the conditions were super fast, but the snow was. Yeah,
because the canyons were the fastest it's been while I've been here.
Yeah. And your nutrition was good all day?
Yeah, stomach went down. It was good. I think I used a restroom again at Dusty Corners, but
they have a reserve sign for
stomach was good, and actually didn't go to any backup plans at all. It was just same hydration drinks, same gels.
Just rolling along.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on another great run, Jim.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.